Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ecommerce here. In today's video, I want to show you a scaling method that I use quite frequently to automate and take a lot of the thinking outside of having to think when you're scaling. So let's get into it. We're going to go into the Google Ad account and I'm going to show you my method for scaling on virtually autopilot. Let's jump into the screen. Okay, so we're here in a Google Ad account. This scaling method is going to assume that you do already have a campaign up and running. If you don't, you can still watch this video, but it will allow you sort of to think of, okay, when I do want to scale, this is what I can do. So what we want to do is we want to have a campaign live. In particular, this one, we've got a performance max campaign set with a target ROAS of 400% here. This campaign, what we're going to do today is so that we take a bit of the thinking out from scaling, because a lot of people, I think when they scale, they overcomplicate it. And one of your main levers to scale is actually just increasing the budget. A lot of what I do as an agency owner and an account manager is basically I want to get my clients to a point where they're profitable, and then I want to push the spend till everything almost breaks, right? I want to push spend as much as I possibly can while still being profitable, or at least as close to profitable as I can, and then use other methods of marketing such as email marketing, SMS, retargeting on other platforms, or even just, if we have a high customer lifetime value, we know they're going to keep purchasing, push it as far as we possibly can. So a big factor is actually just increasing spend. And a lot of people see that as a negative. But if you understand how this online marketing works, and the beauty of it is that you really want to push it until you hit that point of diminishing returns and you're no longer able to be profitable by putting another dollar in. So if I can put $1 in, get $4 back, and I'm very profitable, why would I stop putting dollars into it? Cash flow aside, you need to manage your cash flow, but that's what we want to do. We want to push this thing until it almost breaks. And to be honest, that's normally a very, very long way off. Most people never even come close to that point. Even when they're spending hundreds of thousands, $1 million per month, a lot of the time they're still not breaking things depending on the industry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an automated rule that runs that increases our budget once certain parameters are hit. Now, if you're running a target ROAS, this actually makes this method much, much easier, because we're already telling the algorithm, hey, find us conversion value within this form of profitability. So on 400%, it means that for every dollar I spend, I want $4 back. Which for this particular store is very, very profitable. They're happy with that. They've got a decent customer lifetime value. And they sell complementary products, so their AOV will increase and people will come back and make more purchases. So what's going to happen here is with this rule, it's going to increase the budget. I'm going to show you how to set a rule here. Basically, in the new dashboard, we want to go to Tools. We want to go to Bulk Actions. If you're still using the old one, just go to Bulk Actions, and we're going to run a rule. So click Rule. Then we want to hit the plus here. And what we want to do is we want to hit a campaign rule. Now, if you're running multiple campaigns, you can do it all under one rule, or you can run a single rule per campaign or per ad group. There's lots of things you can do here. We're going to call this the budget increase rule. You need to select the relevant ad account, and we want to select a new action here, okay? And you want to label it, and we're going to call this increase budget when ROAS hit, okay? Click save. We're going to click selected campaigns in this screen here, and we're going to make sure that we only select the campaign we want, which in this case is the Performance Max All Products. So you want to have the campaign obviously needs to be enabled. The action is, so we're going to change budget. We're going to filter by average daily budget, unless you've got a campaign total. Action is going to be increase budget by percentage. I'm going to put 10%. I'm going to leave the percentage up to you, because it depends on your risk tolerance and also, how often you want to run this. So on 10%, 10 to 20% max is what I would do in a given week. If you want to do it, you can do this daily and go, I want to increase my budget 2%, right? I don't want to go above 100 per day, because I say 100 is the absolute max you have to spend, even if everything is going well. I want it to run daily and I want it to use the data from the last 30 days, okay? Now, what you wanna make sure is you actually need to add another condition here. If you just do this, this is gonna increase the budget every single day, no matter what, right? Which for some people might be okay if you're manually watching this and it's early on and you just wanna do some small budget increases, you can actually do this without adding this second rule. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go to conversions. Basically what I'm gonna do is, if a particular return on ad spend is hit in the last 30 days, increase the budget. So I'm gonna go conversions, and we're gonna go to conversion value over cost. This means that your conversion tracking needs to be working for this method to work. And for this particular brand, I want a minimum of 3. Allow yourself a bit of a buffer to the downside here. And what I mean by that is, if you have a target ROAS of 4, I'd set this to a 3, because sometimes there's a bit of a lag in conversions coming through, and the target ROAS is going to be hit here. And you might need to come and play with this rule and put it up to 3.3, 3.5, but I'd rather give it a bit more wiggle room so that we are seeing some increases, and you can come and review this rule frequently. Don't just set and forget this, although it is, you can also add a lot of parameters here. You could put multiple conditions, like you could go, you could go if we hit a certain CPC, if we hit a certain impression, you can do anything in here. There's so many rules you can do, but just make sure for this, I'm gonna add this second condition. So what this is saying is, on this campaign, if we get a target ROAS of over 3, please increase the average budget, daily budget by 2% with a maximum of $100 a day. You can change this. If you don't want to put a maximum, don't put it, or you can put it as high as you want. Now, what you can do is you could set this daily for the 2%, or you could do it weekly, go 10%, and run this weekly on a Sunday evening, and look at 30 days if you want. If you get a lot of conversions, you might be able to go 14 days or 7 days. I probably wouldn't go 7 days. I don't think it's a big enough time frame. If you want even more data, maybe look at a 60-day period. And you can, if there's any errors or anything, this will send you an email, or you can set it to send you an email every time. You probably don't want to. You probably only want to know if there's an error. Only if there's errors, potentially, is what I would prefer. But if you want a reminder, you can do it so that every time this runs, to send you an email. If you're doing it daily though, that's probably going to become a bit of a pain. And then you click save. So what this will do, guys, is it will slowly increase my budget so long as I'm hitting my required conversion value over cost or return on ad spend. So as you can see, this is a nice, easy way to start scaling. So as you can see, guys, this method is quite simple. It's a nice, easy way to scale, and virtually anyone can do this, no matter the size of the account. But if you do want to scale, or if you're scaling multiple accounts, this is a nice, easy way to automate some of what you do. And remember, you can play around with this and automate some of the tasks that you do. So this is like, I guess, the entry-level version of scripts. This is basically scripts without an automated script running and without Google Sheets. It's just basic actions that you can do in here. And it's a nice stepping stone if you want to learn more about automation, which is where everything is heading with Google Ads and with the entire world. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do want to learn more about Google Ads in general, lots of stuff on the channel. I've also recently released a newsletter. I hope you join the list and learn more about Google. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.